welcome back to the channel, and welcome back once again to DCS. Today we're going to be taking a look at basic air-to-air weaponry implementation on the Eagle. Both AIM-120s, AIM-9s, and our gun. We're going to start with the AIM-120s, work our way to the AIM-9s, and then work our way to the gun. Our sitrep is as follows. We have, on the F-10 map, us in the F-15E, obviously, a single hostile IL-76, and a friendly C-17 that we're going to use for today's initial tutorial. Basically because I want to go over the very basic rudimentary IFF that's currently available. I'm sure there'll be an update later on in the sim. But right now it's just a very basic IFF. It does work, kind of. So you'll be able to identify your friends versus your foes, so I'll call it working for now, but it's not currently up to scratch to what the current F-15E uses. Call that a blessing or a curse, but anyway, let's get started here. Let's go ahead and unpause. First thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come down to that IFF switch, turn us on there, and then we'll come over to the right DDI here, go air-to-air mode, make sure our master mode's in air-to-air. You can see on our radar screen there, we've got some contacts. Let's go ahead and hold the left castle switch down to make our left display soy. And then, on our display here, again, you can see those two contacts, one a square, one a triangle. I believe currently anything triangle is a known hostile. Anything square is a known friendly, and I believe anything circular is an unknown, meaning it's just not returning any mode IFF code. So just like on other aircraft, you can move your radar cursor down to zoom the radar in or out. That's just with your standard TWS, not TWS, the, what are they? TDC? Yeah, the TDC, not TDC. What is it? What am I? Yeah, TDC. Use your standard TDC keys or use an axis like I have. The castle switch to the left is going to bring up our left display. Doesn't matter which side, you can do left or right if you want. We just have it on the left side today. Obviously we'll make sure the master arm is on before we engage. And then for actual locking of the target, we're going to be commanding a scan of that area. The F-15 has an incredible APG, what is it, the APG-70, I believe. I could be wrong, but incredible radar on board, extremely complex. So this is kind of a very, very condensed, boiled down version to get you somewhat combat effective, but it is not going to be fully immersive as far as everything that the radar can do. That's something we can look at later on. This is just going to be getting you combat effective, able to lock up targets, identify your targets, and then fire on them when the correct parameters are met. To fire our missiles, we're going to be using the weapon release button. I've got it bound to a joystick. It's right out space as default. And then later on, we might be using our countermeasures, CMD forward and up, or up and down, I should say. I was going to say forward and aft, but there you go. I think that's it. Oh, and then we need to auto acquisition as well if we find ourselves in a situation. So I've got that bound to a button on my joystick as well. And I think that is it as far as the keys we're going to be using today. So let's go ahead and unpause. And you can see we've got those two radar returns. So I'm going to go ahead and TDC press on the one. You see we got them locked up over there. Our HUD symbologies changed. We do have shoot cue lights on, but we're not in the best parameters, and we'll get to those in just a second. But if I hold the right TDC switch. You can see on my display there, it displays IL-76. So I know that's a hostile. Then we'll go auto acquisition to unselect him. And we'll come over and we'll lock up the C-17 if we can. And we'll right push long, and that's obviously a C-17. So we know we've got hostile aircraft, or hostile and a friendly aircraft in the AO confirmed. Sloop my radar up a little bit. Get that illusion relocked. Make sure our master arm is on. And we're actually in perfect parameters to shoot. So these guys over here, we're not going to go super into the different parameters for a non, but again, really, really boiling all of this down. You have that clear circle at the top, the clear triangle, or I should say hollow circle, hollow triangle. Then you'll have a solid dash line, which is currently being obscured by our solid triangle. For non-maneuvering aircraft, for the most part, if you get your think empties for non-maneuvering, big lumbering like an IL-76, for something that is maneuvering, think your solids. Again, really miss standing off on some of the additional symbology here. This is just to get you up and fighting. This is your range for your engagement. You can see we have a closing speed of 851 knots between us. We're doing 463 of those 851 knots. And then this is your minimum release. Basically, if you fire the missile beyond this point, odds are it's not going to have time for the warhead to go active and track onto the target, or it'll be too close for the missile to actually steer to the target. Speaking of steering to the target, you obviously see we have this big circle here. This is the steering circle for our AIM 120, which is what we have selected now. This little tiny dot right here in the center is where we're wanting to put that steering circle to give the missile the best chance of engagement. And obviously you can kind of tell where the aircraft is coming from, either visually like we can here, but if you're outside of visual range, you have this little tick here at the bottom of our circle, which tells us what direction the aircraft is relative to us. So he's slightly off to our right and coming towards us. So on the circle, he's going to be slightly left and coming towards us. If he was going away from us, he would be going that way. That sort of deal. Directly to our left, he'd be over here. Directed to our right, he'd be over here. So let's go ahead, unpause. See, we've got that star give it letting us know we've got all good parameters to shoot. Our shoot cue lights are going to start flashing soon if they haven't already, to let us know we're in perfect parameters. Let's unpause and Fox 3. Missile off the rails. You can see a countdown there for TTI. 2, 1. A little bit delayed. Boom. There's the impact. There goes the illusion. You know, I was hoping it would survive a little longer, but it didn't. So we will we'll go ahead and restart the same mission. Because I was expecting this thing to be the tank that it normally is and just soak up missiles like no one's business, but it didn't do that. So we will restart the mission here and then look at Sidewinders. Okay, back at it again. We'll go ahead and set the jet up one more time. IFF, master arm, and my right DDI ornament to air. And then left castle long. Go ahead and lock him up if we can. Now, one other thing that I did want to point out, in fact, let me undesignate him really quick. There. So, On the radar screen, there's a little more symbology that we should probably look at if you know the altitude of the aircraft you're engaging. That being these numbers here. So this little cursor here is exactly where on your scope your radar is looking. Again, you use TDC to move that around. And then you have on our screen right now, we have a 17 and a -3. What that top number 17 number means is our radar is looking up all the way up to 17,000 feet. And then the -3 means we're looking 3,000 feet below ground level. So, you know, ideally you want this, if you're looking for a surface level target, you want this to be 0 or maybe a -1. But at our current elevation sweep, which we can manually elevation sweep the radar up or down using the axis that I have down here, which is your radar antenna pitch elevation. That makes sense. So if I slew the radar down, you can see those numbers all change. If I slew it back up, those all go up, and then back down again. So not mucking about this time, let's go ahead and see if we can't get that illusion locked up again. We did. Confirmed as an IL-76. One other finding I suppose I should talk about since we're moving on from the Sidewinders now is going to be your weapon mode select buttons. I have 3 bindings. I can either go forward, aft, or I can cycle between them on my stick. I kind of use them interchangeably on my HOTAS. Realistically, you probably don't need all of them. You probably would be okay with just cycle, because there's only, 3 different modes, I think. So we've got the IL-76 confirmed, locked. Let's go ahead and hit that mode select to bring up the AMRAAMs. And obviously, AMRAAMs are a heat-seeking missile, so you do need a good heat signature off of the airplane. Now with the Illusion, I'm not too worried. It's got 4 big old turbofan engines on it, making a whole bunch of heat. But for something with a lower heat emission, then you may want to consider something else. Also, obviously, the AIM-9s, just like in any other aircraft, are going to be range limited compared to the AIM-120s. So that's something to consider as well. But you can hear we've got good tone on the AMRAAMs. Let's go ahead and Fox 2. He's dumping flares like a madman. His flares did work. Fox 2 again. We'll switch to guns. It's a good splash. Do not see them bailing out, which lets us transition perfectly into the gun mode. Now, the aircraft is currently in air-to-air gun mode, just based off of the weapon switch that we did, and you saw that the aircraft there automatically locked up the Illusion. That's one nice thing about the gun mode. Sometimes if I'm in a tight dogfight, I'll sometimes actually use the gun mode just to get the radar swung onto my target. Quick switch over to my AMRAAMs, and then Fox 2 on him. You can see we've got our gun cross at the top there, as well as our gun pipper, our, I guess it's a CCIP pipper type thing. Big, long trail letting us know that we're very much not so in the correct parameters to shoot. I find that even when you are trying to fly smoothly, this gun pipper isn't completely accurate, so you will have to use those tracers to maybe walk your targets in just a little bit. Right now, we are not set up advantageously. Well, we're set up advantageously, but we're very much going to overshoot. So I'm going to do everything I can to get the jet slowed down. Not in time. Get hit on one of the engines. Come back around for another kill. There's our C-17. You can see the Illusion smoking in my mirror in the background. Do really like the gun sound in the F-15E. There we go, auto-locked. Alright, range ticker counting down. That bar on the outside is now scrolling down. That lets us know that we're within range to shoot. We'll put the pipper on him, give it a squeeze so you can see what I was kind of talking about with it not being entirely accurate. Pipper on, squeeze. So yeah, just a little bit behind him. So we'll just walk those tracers in. He's maneuvering on us now. I think a hit or two. Ah, nada. He's still running on that one engine, darn it. See, this is the IL-76 performance I was expecting. This thing does definitely just soak up munitions in a lot of cases, which is fine. Come back around for one more pass. Hopefully. Fuel check. Good. Approaching our 30 degrees max AOA. Got him locked. Oh, he is. Thought you were gonna make it home, buddy. Strike Eagle's got a message for you. You haven't even put your gear down. Let's try and get that tail. I'm out of guns. Well. No matter. So that is a look at the 3 weapons that we're going to be employing. Let's move over to a hot mission situation where we're not actually just shooting at unarmed targets. We're still going to make it a fair fight in our favor, obviously, but we'll give them something to shoot back with and make a few more of them, so you can get an idea of the F-15 Strike Eagle's capabilities in a oh, he crashed. Haha. Ha ha ha. In a real world situation. So we'll cut over to that mission now. Okay, and here we are with our final mission for today. We're going to be taking what we've learned and applying it all to a live mission with less talking from me. So you can just kind of see how the stuff unfolds. I should also mention this is all done doing single target track. The F-15E, just like the F-16, does have the ability to TMS up and just basically go down a row of targets, but we're not looking at that today. Again, keeping things simple, just trying to get you guys in the air and flying. So we've got our F-15E here, friendly coalition, KC-135, making sure that we keep our targets in check. We've got an E3 sentry that's going to be providing AWAC support, and then for hostiles, we've got 2 times Su-24s, those are twin-engine afterburning bombers, and a pair of Su-34, something I thought would be kind of comparable to the F-15E. None of our adversaries today have radar-guided missiles, so that's going to be the advantage for us. Once we do get within IR range, the Su-34s are going to have a range advantage, but hopefully we don't get down to that, so let's go ahead and fly. Hi, DCS. Fuel, armament, air to air. Gas left, long. Alright, target's up on the scope. Got one locked. Let's vector onto him. Add power. Alright, FFIDing, that is a hostile Su-24. You can actually see him, or visual. Closing speed of 1,121 now, knots. Key lights, or shoot lights are illuminated. Get a little bit closer as far as range. We're 14.0 right now. You can tell that by the number in the lower left corner there, or lower right corner rather. Wait to get inside of 10, and then we'll Fox 3 on the first one. See the KC-135 maneuvering behind them. Alright, Fox 3. Fox 3. The missile lead. Switch over to our AMRAMs in case we need him. He's dropped his munitions. Good splash. Alright, let's call up the... Copy that. Let's call up the AWACS. Alright, radar nicely centered. Got some blips on the radar there. Confirmed as Su-34. Let's move to intercept. Keep that dot inside of our steering circle. Fox 3. And Fox 3. Missile launch, missile launch, missile launch. Other one's got missile out. First one's dead. Oh, big wake! Clipped his wingtip. How? Fox 2. Think he's out of flares. Good splash.
Overlord 1-1 in field 1-1. Request picture. Enfield 1-1. Overlord 1-1. Single group at bullseye 050
Wait. I'm sorry. I thought we killed everyone. Everyone's dead. What do you mean? Oh, no. Okay, that's the KC-135. So let's do bogey dope.
Overlord 1-1 in field 1-1. Request bogey dope.
And we should be clean.
Enfield 1-1. Overlord 1-1. Bra 22944 at 2000 cold.
We're at 229, 4 miles at 2,000 feet. Yeah, there's something down there. Alright, let's go into cheater mode. KC-135, E3. No, everything's dead. What are you talking about? Oh, maybe that was him and he crashed. Anyway, that is the F-15E basic weapons implementation. Again, definitely not the most comprehensive or the most effective, but it will get you up in the air, flying and engaging adversaries, and that is my goal with this video today. So that's going to do it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I do dearly appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. As always, take it easy.